Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Ox Talks. Thanks for tuning in to watch the show today. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. I'm not asking as much these days, but if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. And also, if you thought you were subscribed, please check to make sure that you have not been unsubscribed. I'm having some problems with that again. We've had some tailing off of you guys subscribers for really some unknown reason. Don't really know why, but appreciate you guys checking that for me. Hit the subscribe button. Let's keep growing the channel. I want to discuss a very important two topics today with you. I'll share two articles that I thought were very important relative to the economy, the consumer, the debt in this country. Markets finished mixed today. Powell, I guess, testified before Congress and didn't watch any of the testimony, but the gist was that he again kind of reiterated that the Fed is in no rush to continue cutting interest rates. It's this back and forth now between the Fed, and the president. But the markets didn't like that too much. The 10-year yield did like that. It was welcome news. I saw the 10-year yield was up several basis points. Gold took a little bit of a hit today, not much though, hovering right around $2,900 an ounce. Cryptos are just treading water right now, pulling back a little bit. A lot of uncertainty still, a lot of things happening very fast, rapid fire stuff out of the new administration every day. I'll discuss that uncertainty issue and how it's affecting the small business sentiment in this country in a few minutes. But first, I want to discuss with you kind of what led to the thumbnail today, which has to do with this buy now, pay later, debt epidemic that we have in this country. I've discussed it before on the channel, but something came out this morning from CNBC relative to Affirm. Affirm is one of the largest buy now, pay later companies out there. And I'm going to discuss with you what they're doing now and the partnership they're forging with the banking system, which will enable people to take on even more debt, okay? Which is, as you all know, the last thing the consumers in this country should be doing. Before I get to the article of CNBC, I did a quick AI search of the total amount of buy now, pay later debt in this country. And here's the response. I'll explain this as the backdrop, then I'll jump into the CNBC article relative to Affirm. So the total amount of buy now, pay later, BNPL debt is difficult to estimate because there's little regulation and not much data available. This is why it's very, very dangerous. However, I just added that, okay? However, the industry is growing rapidly, and some analysts are concerned about the potential impact on the economy. In 2019, the total amount of BNPL credit in the United States was $2 billion, all right? $2 billion with a B. In 2021, the total volume of BNPL transactions was, listen to this, $24.2 billion. Okay, that means it grew over 12 times between 2019 and 2021. In 2024, it says the industry is on track to surpass $80 billion of debt associated with buy now, pay later transactions. Think about that, okay? This is Adobe Analytics projected that U.S. consumers would spend $18.5 billion using buy now, pay later services during the 2024 holiday season. $18.5 billion during this last holiday season only, okay? It says, what are the challenges of BNPL debt? They're often unrecorded by credit agencies. I was going to address that. It's not reflected on credit report, right? So you could have $20,000 of buy now, pay later debt out there. It doesn't show up on your credit reports, okay? So it's basically hidden toxic debt. And we all know the interest rates on that buy now, pay later are very, very high. Second, the lack of data makes it difficult to know how much debt is being created and how it's affecting consumers. Some analysts are concerned that the rapid growth of buy now, pay later could become a problem for the U.S. economy. I'm not so sure what could become a problem is meant to signify. I think it's a problem when you go from $2 billion in 2019 to $80 billion in 2024. Love to hear your thoughts and comments, guys, below. Okay, is this a good idea? Now, let me share with you what's being touted by CNBC this morning in an article about Affirm as something that we should all be celebrating and cheering. Affirm plans to bring buy now, pay later debit cards to more users through a deal with FIS. Says Affirm is partnering with fintech company FIS to bring its debit card functionality to more banks. Affirm, the online lender founded by Max Levchin, expanded beyond credit and entered the debit market 4 years ago with a card that let users pay over time. Think about that. 4 years ago, 2019, 2020-ish, right? When it was $2 billion. And now what is it? Now it's $80 billion. Okay, that's not coincidental. Now the company is making it possible for banks to offer that service to their customers. Wow, isn't that fantastic? And yes, that's sarcasm. Affirm, which pioneered the buy now, pay later business, BNPL, has partnered with FIS in a deal that will allow the fintech company to offer the pay over time service to its banking clients and their millions of individual customers. Okay, so it's like a growing cancer. Any bank that partners with FIS will now be able to provide its own version of the Affirm card, which launched in 2021, without asking customers to adopt a new piece of plastic. Customers can access Affirm's biweekly and monthly installment plans and have the money automatically deducted from their checking account. And this is being sold as efficient, as ease, as a benefit, right, for these poor, unsuspecting consumers. And some of them aren't unsuspecting. Some of them, many of them know exactly what they're getting into with this buy now, pay later. It says consumers today, this is a quote, consumers today are looking for innovative and user-friendly experiences that give them flexibility and control over their money. Guys, answer this question below. Does getting straddled with buy now, pay later debt give you more flexibility with your money? This is according to Jim Johnson, co-president of Banking Solutions at FIS, said in a press release. Affirm's offering can help banks offer more competitive, differentiated services through their own banking channels. Affirm now has over 335,000 merchants in its network, ranging from travel booking sites and concert ticket providers to jewelry stores and electronics providers. By bringing BNPL into the debit world, Affirm aims to provide consumers more alternatives to credit. Well, okay, i.e., meaning that they're able to take on more debt without having to apply for standard credit cards or more credit through traditional routes, right? So that when they've maxed out their credit cards, when they can no longer borrow or get another single credit card issued in their name, they're going to transfer, if they haven't already done it, they're going to start transitioning over to buy now, pay later, where no more questions are asked. Okay, if you have that banking relationship, you can just ask for it to be automatically taken out of your bank account each month. How easy is that, right? And without having a credit check done, and without having it tracked by credit reporting agencies. I can't think of a worse nightmare for the already straddled, cash-strapped, broke consumers in this country. This is in its earnings report last week. Affirm reported better than expected quarterly revenue and posted a surprise profit from the holiday period. The stock rocketed 22% after the announcement. Think about that, guys. These are corporations. Do you think that they care to try and sell this as some kind of a nice benefit for the consumer? The corporations don't care about you and I. They care about one thing, and that is maximizing their profit for their shareholders, okay? At the expense of these people taking on debt that they shouldn't be taking on. It says that Affirm's active consumer base grew 23% year over year to 21 million users. By the way, it's no surprise that Affirm's revenues popped like they did over the last earnings season. What we see from the the data I shared a few minutes ago with you, that they expected $24 billion to be expended by consumers just during the holiday season 2024, right? Affirm's active base grew by 23%. That's massive. And it says in June, Affirm and Apple announced plans for U.S. Apple Pay users on iPhones and iPads to be able to apply for loans directly through Affirm. Isn't that just fantastic? I don't know. What's the average interest rate being charged by Affirm? I didn't look that up. You guys, again, feel free to leave your comments below. You can see this thing fires me up on this buy now, pay later. I think it's a horrible idea. I don't see any benefit to it. If you can't get credit through traditional routes, or if you've maxed out your credit, guess what? It's time that it gets shut down and you pay off that debt somehow, and work your way out of the hole. This is going to create deeper holes for people, and I don't think it's going to end well. The last story I'll share with you guys today was out of the Zero Hedge. And I always talk on this channel about starting your own businesses, becoming self-sufficient with regard to generating a revenue stream that's not dependent upon you guys getting a paycheck or clocking into a 9-to-5 job. So let me share with you a little bit of negative news here about small business optimism. Zero Hedge, the optimism slides in January as uncertainty surges. And we've talked about uncertainty, okay, and why there's so much uncertainty right now. A lot of it's being generated and stemming from the administration's, massive moves that it's making, tariff issues, interest rate issues, having surged by the most on record to its highest level since 2018 after the election victory. Small business optimism faded in January as uncertainty soared higher by the most on record, data back to 1986. And so we see a chart here, which I'll show you real quickly. We have the uncertainty going up and the optimism falling, okay? Optimism and uncertainty. There is the chart right there, okay? You guys see it? Sorry if I'm not holding it up straight. Okay, small business optimism is falling and uncertainty is the highest on record. All right, it says with uncertainty at its third highest level on record. The survey suggests companies are growing cautious about investment as the Fed puts rate cuts on hold. Okay, again, Powell's out this morning, basically indicating we're in no rush. It says additionally, the share of firms planning to raise prices has been stuck in the same 10-point range for more than a year, underscoring concerns that progress towards taming inflation is stalling. All right, small businesses are not seeing reprieve in the inflation, and we all know that it continues to go up despite what you're being told. Despite this, small business owners, it says, remain largely upbeat about the economy's prospects, with a net 47% expecting the economy to improve in coming months. Went a bit long today. I'll leave it there. I don't think that should dissuade people from starting a business. As long as you start it smart, you don't go all in, you take your time, you set it up the right way through an entity separate from your personal assets. You don't take on a lot of debt, and you just start slowly. I still think there's nothing better than small business in this country. It's the lifeblood of this country. We have to get back to that. I think we're going to start seeing, lower tax, more favorable business climate as these months progress. But right now, a lot of uncertainty, across the board in all asset classes. So hope you enjoyed the content today. The buy now, pay later thing is really concerning to me, okay? And you gotta understand, the credit card companies, the banks, the corporations, they're not looking out for you guys. So please, if you're doing that stuff, if you're buying stuff over multi-payments, you probably don't have the money to be buying it in the first place. Yes, there are exceptions for emergency expenditures. I get that. But not for electronics, and the things they're talking about that they have these great partnerships and relationships with. So that being said, back in the office from the coast today, bunch of files and client calls and emails. We're going to get my workout here in about maybe about an hour. Hope you guys do the same. Stay healthy, get those steps in. Again, thanks for watching, subscribing, supporting the channel. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.